My name is Jose Morales, and I'm gonna share with you how I created something out of nothing. I am the head coach and CEO of Jose Morales Boxing Academy in Roseville, California. We've generated lots of career opportunities for the community, and on top of that, we created a better people for our community. We have created national champions in the ring and overall a successful business. I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. I was brought to the US undocumented at 11 months old. My mother worked 3 jobs. She was never around. I was alone most of the time with my older sister. My sister's boyfriend, when I was a kid, influenced boxing a lot on me, and we watched boxing fights. I fell in love with the sport for a lot of reasons, but I think what motivated me the most is the fact that it was something that I can represent my family, my mother, and my people. I really held that high. When I was competing as an amateur, I wanted to go to the Silver Gloves tournament, and I had an application to fill out. One of the questions was, are you a US citizen? And if you are, put your social security number. When my mother told me that we didn't have that, it broke me in so many ways that I started creating this vision in my head that I couldn't do anything else. I had this victim mentality for a long period. It was stuck for a few years in my head until I had a boxing coach tell me, you give yourself a nickname, you tell yourself you're the best boxer in the world, you act like you're the best, you train like you're the best, but then you go home and you're no longer the best. So you're only the best in the gym. What's taking you away from being the best in everything you do and everywhere you go? When I changed my mentality of not being able to accomplish anything because I was undocumented, that's when I started throwing myself in the fire. So when I was 16 years old, I was offered to coach at this very gym right here. I did that for a few years and it was great. I loved it. I learned so much, but I was still boxing also. So I was still competing, and it was too much for me to be teaching boxing and then I wanted to do something different. And what I chose to do, because I always lacked a father, because I didn't have a father growing up, I always felt less of a man because I didn't know how to do anything on a car. I drive around to different shops and fill out applications, talk to the managers, and I made it a job to find a job. It took me 3 weeks until I finally landed a place that hired me. I was sweeping, I was cleaning the bathrooms, I was taking the tires off, I was lifting the cars. But the best thing about all that is I was learning throughout this whole process. When I was 20 years old, I got the opportunity to run a small facility, learn how to manage it, learn everything about a shop. I was there for about 3 years until DACA passed. I was able to get my social security, I was able to get a driver's license, I was able to land a job at a dealership in the service department where I was offered to be the service manager. I worked Monday through Thursday, I was off for 3 days, I had great pay, great money. My family thought I was the one who made it. That's how my family looked at me. And I was there and I was good. And what happened was, and what changed my mind is, one day I was at a regional manager meeting. I was the youngest one there. I was 23 years old. And I asked somebody that was like in their 40s and 50s, hey, what would you do better if you were in my position? And I was expecting him to tell me, hey, Jose, if you do this, you make more money if you do this. But what he told me changed my life. He said, Jose, if I was you, I would get the hell out of this and do something else. That's where I started listening to my heart, and my heart was always boxing. I dedicated my whole life to boxing. And it took me about a year until I had enough money saved up where I can actually walk away from this job. The gym that I worked at when I was 16 years old was gonna get ready to close, and they offered it to me. They said, hey, we're gonna close this gym, Jose, if you wanna take over, you can take over. And me, it was perfect because I was gonna save so much money. They already had the equipment, they already had a ring, they had a lot of things that I was missing, and the next thing that was so great about it is the area, the community. I taught there when I was 16. So I taught there for 3 years. I already had people in that area that remembered me and that knew me. My whole family thought I was crazy. They're like, you're gonna do what? You're leaving your job to do what? You wanna teach boxing? What is wrong with you? I had a bigger vision than any of these people thought. I knew what I was capable of doing, and I knew what boxing is capable of doing also. And when you bring the two together, I knew I was gonna make an impact in my community. When I was at my job, I already made money, but at the end of the day, I wasn't fulfilled. I wasn't happy with myself. You know why I wasn't happy with myself? Because that wasn't me. I put together both of my worlds. What I did in the dealership, which is the business side, managing side, growing a team, managing people, and then my passion, boxing, putting a team together, and that's what created this place that not only is it building champions in and out of the ring, but it's also creating careers for people. Not just jobs, careers where people are looking forward to being here and growing here. Before you start investing in everything else, you investing in you. And when you invest in yourself, you invest in your confidence. And when you believe in yourself, the things you accomplish are much higher, and the things you go after to do that seem crazy to everybody else seems possible to you. One of the biggest things that people love about our gym here is the community and the environment that is built here. The environment is not just with me or just another coach, it's but everybody together, working together, smiling with each other while they're working and busting their ass together. I've heard a lot of philosophies in my life, but the one that I live by, and it changed my life completely, is the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So give your all to everything you do, and it will change your life completely.